A tie with Springville atop Region 8 play. Both teams have one loss. Maple Mountain has 10 wins. Springville has 9. Spanish Fork looking to get that last spot in Region 8 to make it to the playoffs. They're going to need a lot of help as they're 3-7. Wasatch has got that 4th spot, 5-5, and Wasatch is playing Springville tonight, and then they're at Payson. So Spanish Fork needs to win this game, and then they also need to win against Springville at Springville next week. So an exciting rivalry matchup, and you never know what's going to happen in these rivalry games as both teams come in looking to want to win this one, obviously. Maple Mountain, I saw them last Friday night. They looked very well. They are led by Tyler Boyack and Parker Christensen. Very small guard-oriented lineup with both teams wanting to move the ball around, or with Maple Mountain wanting to move the ball around the perimeter. Spanish Fork, though, they like to work it inside to Bridger Knowles. He's the big forward for Spanish Fork. He's averaging 20 points a game and looking to lead Spanish Fork to an upset tonight against Maple Mountain. We've got about 3 minutes to go here before the start. We'd like to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible on Channel 17. Hey, Pete, can you throw up the sponsors? All right, well, sponsors, yeah. Yeah, we're about 2.5 minutes away. I've lost my sponsor card. We've got the car guys that are sponsoring the instant replay. Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, attorneys at law, MVP Sports, and Two Jacks Pizza. Also, as you enjoy this broadcast, we'd invite you to follow our pages on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to keep up with the latest shows, live broadcasts, and our SF17 staff. Just look for Spanish Fork 17. So we're about 2 minutes away here from action. And so I think the keys to tonight's ball game for Maple Mountain is they want to get the ball out in transition. They want to score a lot of points. They only scored 44 on Tuesday against Springville. So they want to get the tempo high octane tonight. And for Spanish Fork, they want to limit their turnovers, and then when they can, get the ball in transition, but also try and work the ball into Bridger Knowles. And if Spanish Fork can do that, they might have a shot of pulling out a huge upset. For Maple Mountain, this is their final game of the season. They will be heading to the playoffs, I should say the regular season for Maple Mountain. For Spanish Fork, up next, they've got Springville, and they need to win both of these games to even have a shot, even a remote shot of getting that 4th seed into the playoffs. Maple Mountain is huge fans of Wasatch tonight. Wasatch is playing Springville. If Wasatch can pull that out, then and Maple Mountain wins, they've clinched the region championship once again this year. All right, looks like we're getting ready here for the national anthem. We'll pause for that. That was a beautiful rendition of the national anthem, and now we'll have the starting lineups for you. Both teams are anxious to get going. It's a little bit of a late start. It's senior night here for Spanish Fork. The last time they'll be playing here in the Don Dome this season and for a lot of these seniors, the last time. And the seniors on this Spanish Fork team were announced earlier. They're number 2, Kellett Cook, number 3, Tanner Argyle, number 11, Gavin Oldham, number 15, Brady Lewis, number 20, Josh Chingus, and and Caleb Money, number 5, is also a senior. So this will be the last time some of these seniors get announced in the starting lineup here. But this Spanish Fork team does have a lot of youth on it as well. The first 2 starters they announced will be back next year for Spanish Fork. There's a ton of Maple Mountain students behind me. It's going to be loud in here tonight as Spanish Fork students body is representing well tonight. All right, we're almost ready to get things underway here. Coach is giving last-minute instructions, and this is a huge ball game. You get the bragging rights of Spanish Fork. I like to call this game the Battle of the Fork. Nobody else has really picked up on it, but it's a huge matchup, and Maple Mountain High School has had the better of this rivalry recently. They won the first meeting at Maple Mountain, and that game wasn't even close. We will have Dawson Butler jumping against Bridger Knowles to start this off. Both teams are kind of small. They don't have too many giants, and Maple Mountain will win the tip. Ballard will take it and pass it out to Christensen here. Maple Mountain looking to get in their offense. Spanish Fork coming straight out with the man-to-man defense. And Ballard travels. He has a tendency to do that as he shuffles his feet there. Something he needs to work on. So Spanish Fork looking to inbound the ball here. Maple Mountain starts the game off quickly with a turnover. 2-3 zone here by Maple Mountain. Spanish Fork looking to throw it inside. Argyle puts it up and good, and he starts the scoring off for the Dons as he hits his first tray of the ball game. That's a great start. When Argyle's hot, this Spanish Fork team can play with anybody. Maple Mountain tries to answer with a 3 of their own, and it's lawn that time by Radigan. Ballard works inside, and he's able to pick up 2 for Maple Mountain. Great inside work there by Ballard as he was able to use his big frame to get the position underneath. Put up that J-hook, and an errant pass that time by Argyle, but he's bailed out by Olson. Spanish Fork nearly turns it over there, and they work it into Knowles, and Knowles is able to get his own rebound, gets fouled. They're going to call it down. He got fouled on the shot there. Actually, he's going to be shooting too. That's the right call, and that's our first foul of the ball game. So Bridger Knowles looking for his first point of the ball game. He's averaging 20 on the season for the Dons. He pits the first ones up, and it's right down the middle, and he's got his first bucket. Spanish Fork with a 4-2 lead here early. We'll see if they can keep that energy, and this gym is the loudest it's been all season, with the exception of maybe the Salem Hills game. Spanish Fork able to retain that rebound and get back in their offense here, and they nearly turn it over, and their offense is all out of sorts right here for Spanish Fork, but they're able to get it in Knowles, who scoops it up and under, and he's got 2. Spanish Fork with an early 6-2 lead here. Maple Mountain looking to get back into their offense quick, though. And Maple Mountain's bread and butter is getting that ball in transition and beating you with all their speed. They also can hit the outside shot. They work it around. Christensen with the ball here. Resets. It seems like the floor might be a little slippery out there, as I've seen a couple guys sliding around. Maple Mountain. Once again, Christensen's shoes must be slippery as Boyack picks it up the three, and it's no good. Argyle quickly down the court, and he'll throw it out of bounds. It's knocked out by Maple Mountain. Spanish Fork will retain possession. .537 here. Spanish Fork on top 6-2. A little bit of a surprise there early on. Get the ball out to Money, who passes it to Argyle. Maple Mountain still trying to clog the inside with this 3-2 zone. An errant pass that's picked off by Christensen, who works the other way, goes down and puts it up and in, and he's got his first bucket of the game and cuts this lead in half. Spanish Fork quickly down the other end. Spanish Fork works it to the corner to Money, and he is Money that time as he hits the three. Spanish Fork 9, Maple Mountain 4 here, and just like that, down on the other side, Boyack quickly down the court, and he's fouled by Olsen and hits an and one opportunity. And Tanner Olsen needed to get back on defense a little faster, but he's doing well for a sophomore, and he'll come out of the game just for a minute, and they'll bring in Brady Lewis. Senior night here, and Brady Lewis checking in as one of those seniors. Boyack's shot is up and good. Nothing but the bottom of the net there. Spanish Fork looking to counter here. Their lead's been cut to 2. Argyle takes a three. It's well off, and just like that, Christensen's got Maple Mountain back in their offense quickly, and don't blink because Maple Mountain wants to run that ball. And up, Congdon in transition, unable to connect. Had a good look, but just unable to come up with it. And Radigan, just like that, down the other end. Maple Mountain's getting plenty of opportunities to score in transition. They're just not able to connect here. And Bridger Knowles up and in. And he's got 5. And just like that, Radigan down the other side, and he's fouled by Congdon that time on the arm, and he'll get 2 shots. Brandon Congdon picks up his first foul of the game. Will Radigan to the line. Very high percentage free throw shooter for Maple Mountain. The first one's up and good. Radigan comes in averaging nearly 8 points a game for Maple Mountain. Maple Mountain having themselves quite the season so far. And the second one by Radigan's up and good as well. Maple Mountain 15-6 overall, 10-1 in region. That lone loss to Springville on Valentine's night. Money puts it up and it's well off. He was off balance when he took it. Congdon's able to get it. He's short. Knowles is battling inside, but he's unable to get the rebound, and he is upset as he thought that was off number 20, Radigan, that time. Both teams don't have a lot of height, but they do a good job of boxing out and getting great position. Maple Mountain looking to take the lead or even things up on this possession. They're down by 2. They work the ball out to Christensen, and he knifes through, and he's swatted by Congdon that time. What a swat. Christensen's able to reset the offense here. Spanish Fork's playing man-to-man defense, and that's tough for Maple Mountain as they're looking to set some screens here. Moving some guys around, and that's how you beat a man-to-man offense. And Radigan losing the ball. Congdon gets it, and Lewis gets it off to Congdon that time, and Argyle pulls up. He's fouled, no call, but he makes the basket. He's got 2. He's up to 5 in the ball game now. Oh, and down the other side quickly, up and in's Butler. That's Butler's first basket of the game. He's got to be the tallest Maple Mountain guy here, and he's playing out there on the wing. Butler, very athletic. He also played wide receiver and cornerback for the football team. Brady Lewis for three, and it's well off the iron that time. Maple Mountain picks the rebound and chooses to go slowly this time, but nobody guarding Boyack, and he misses a great look by Boyack, and Spanish Fork struggling at times to get back on defense, but they lead by 2 as they've been able to work the ball into Bridger Knowles. And also they've hit a couple of huge threes by Argyle and Money. So with 2:30 to go here, Spanish Fork looking to pull the upset. They've got the lead early here in the Battle of the Fork, and Argyle thinks about it, puts it down. Oh, and it's up and good that time by Josh Chingus. And that is the third three-pointer for Spanish Fork in this quarter. They lead by 5. Maple Mountain looking to match, and they're just not hitting the outside shot, as that was Beanham, I believe, who missed that. Dawson Butler picks up his second bucket here for Maple Mountain. And Argyle brings it up slowly, and they're look to move it in, outside in, and Bridger Knowles was behind the three-point line, and I don't know if that's exactly where you want him lining up. If you're Spanish Fork, you need him to work the middle. That's how this offense works, inside out. Maple Mountain having to use a lot of screens against this man-to-man defense. And when they're in transition, they're great, but they've really struggled when Spanish Fork's been able to set up this defense. Not struggling this time as Bird gets the basket that time. Great assist by Butler. Call that a State Farm great assist of the game. Oh, wow. Knowles gets hammered that time. I think they're going to call that on Beanham. We'll have to see, and he'll go to the line. They'll call it on Butler that time. His first foul. Both teams have 2 team fouls in the quarter. Knowles already has 5, looking to add to that. He's got 6. Yeah, Bridger Knowles is one of the leading scorers in the region. He's averaging 20 points a game. The scoring for Spanish Fork's gone through him and Tanner Argyle as he makes the second. And Bridger Knowles is 3 for 3 behind the charity stripe so far. Good sign for Spanish Fork. They have a 3-point lead here as well. Christensen will bring the ball up slowly here. Pretty quick quarter for the most part. A lot of scoring as both teams now with 18. Christensen's able to connect, and he's got 5 in the ball game. We'll have to see if Spanish Fork can stay in that man-to-man defense. And Argyle, testing the depth of the zone, is unable to come up with that shot. Maple Mountain quickly down the other end like they always are. And it's out. Ooh, and an air ball that time by Beanham. Spanish Fork down to Money, and he misses there on the baseline. Spanish Fork gets the rebound quickly into the hands of Hells. Just 24 seconds to go here in the quarter. Spanish Fork 18, Maple Mountain 18. We've almost played once. Maple Mountain looks to hold for the last shot here. They're calling play number 2. I saw Johnny Everett calling it. Spanish Fork's dropped into a zone here. They work it out to Beanham, who's got the 3, and with no time on the clock, that was Butler that time that missed it. And at the end of 1, it's 18-18 here in Spanish Fork. And you're watching high school basketball on Spanish Fork Community Network.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Spanish Fork.
And we are back here at the Dawn Dome, where that was a ferociously fast-paced quarter, if you will. It's 18-18 here, and we'd like to thank our sponsors here for making high school sports possible, and of course this basketball game tonight here on SF17. Our sponsors are the Car Guys, MVP Sports, Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, 2 Jacks Pizza, Triple T, Dickerson Automotive, and Mikkel Christiansen. Maple Mountain won the tip, and Spanish Fork will get the ball here. Maple Mountain now going with the man-to-man defense. Spanish Fork looking to counter, and Argyle can't beat his guy off the dribble. Knowles is going to go one-on-one this time, loses the ball. It goes through his legs, and somehow Money's able to pick it up and get it out to Congdon. Spanish Fork with all their starters, and Olsen nowhere near there. And wow, Money was looking for a foul that time as he was going fiercely on Beanham to get that rebound. So Bridger Knowles, he leads all scorers. He had 7 in that quarter, leading the way for Maple Mountain. Christensen had 5. Maple Mountain had 6 guys score in that first quarter, and Spanish Fork only had 4, a little more balance on the Maple Mountain side. And Butler scores the first bucket here in the second quarter, and Maple Mountain takes their first lead of the ball game here. 7 minutes to go, and finally Maple Mountain takes their first lead as they lead 20-18. Congdon from the baseline. Oh, it's just a little too hard that time, and Beanham down the other way, and he gets his first bucket of the game and the 7th Maple Mountain player to score tonight as he's got 2. Maple Mountain's got a 4-0 run here to start this quarter. Ball's out to Argyle. Maple Mountain switched to man-to-man defense, and Spanish Fork has been unable to score on it since they've made that switch. They work it into Knowles, and he's definitely getting double-teamed every time he touches it. Looks like they're in a zone, though. We got a foul. It's down. It's going to be on number 5, Bird. He doesn't understand why, but the ref called it. Both teams with 3 team fouls. Obviously, nobody's in real foul trouble. Nice inbound play to Knowles, but he's unable to connect. Congdon put that ball right where he needed it. And just like that, Maple Mountain's down the other side. And Knowles swatted him, but got a little bit of the body that time. That'll be number 2. Hell's going to the free throw line, looking for his first point of the ball game. Maple Mountain has all the points here in this quarter as it was tied 18-18, and they've got all the momentum right now in this ball game. Checking in for Maple Mountain will be Boyack. And Hells for the second free throw, and it's up and it's good. His first point of the game, and he's also the 8th Maple Mountain player to score here tonight. Maple Mountain doing a great job of spreading the love on the offensive end. Spanish Fork just has 4 guys scoring. Argyle out to Congdon for 3, and Congdon puts it up and good, and that's his first bucket of the game, and Spanish Fork has 21 points, and 5 of them coming behind the 3-point line, and Beanham's able to counter as he gets his second bucket of the quarter, and he's got 4 in the game. Mountain's got a 4-point lead, looking to maybe get a run here and blow this thing out. They don't want to keep this close, and huge turnover for Spanish Fork. Hells quickly down the other end, works it inside to number 11, Boyack, and he's got 2. Spanish Fork needing a big possession here. They don't want to fall down by too much, and working the outside. Congdon, unable to put it up, but Bridger Knowles, he's got 9 now. He tips it back up and in, and Butler's running the court. He gets 2. This Maple Mountain team, you cannot blink. If you do, they'll run right by you. Butler was flying down the court that time. Spanish Fork working it around the perimeter once again, and Maple Mountain's doing a great job of trapping with their defense here. Congdon will try a three off the dribble, no good. Brady Lewis with the putback, and it's no good. Maple Mountain has the John Stockton one-arm pass down to Bueller. Bueller doesn't come up with it, and Spanish Fork's running the other way, and Argyle's got to be get tired. He's been flying all up and down the court. Money for three, though. Money on senior night has his second three-point bucket of the game. He averages 4, so his offensive production. We'll have a 20-second timeout here. Woo. Maple Mountain has scored 11 in the first 3 minutes and 57 seconds of this quarter. Would once again like to thank our sponsors here for making this broadcast possible. We've got the car guys who sponsor our instant replay, MVP Sports who's sponsoring the MVP of the game, Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance with a great assist, 2 Jacks Pizza, and Triple T, Dickerson Automotive, and Mikkel Christiansen Wise, attorneys at law. Also, you can catch this broadcast and our other broadcasts by following us on our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube pages to keep up with the latest shows. Live broadcasts on our SF17 staff. Just look for Spanish Fork 17, and if you follow the YouTube channel when these ball games start, you get a little notification on your phone, and you can go ahead and tune us in and see how our local high school heroes or other events are going. Congdon M unable to connect. He gets his own rebound, and he's working on his stats there. He's got 3 rebounds on that possession alone, and finally decides to back it out. They work it out to Lewis that time. He'll drive. He jackknifes it up, and it's just a little too hard. Seems like Brady Lewis and Brandon Congdon are struggling a little bit on the outside, and down the other side, Christensen races like a horse and gets 2 points. Or was that? I'm sorry, that was Boyack that time. This Maple Mountain team, I don't know how they only scored 44 points against Springville, because they can score points in a hurry. I'm assuming Springville really uglied that ball game up and slowed down the pace. Spanish Fork's holding their own here. They only trail by 5. Get the ball out to Josh Chingus, who finds Congdon, who hits the 3, but unfortunately Brady Lewis picks up the foul down low. And that's huge. Maple Mountain will receive the ball here, and they've got a 5-point lead, looking to add to that. They swing the ball on the outside. And Christensen lines up for the 3, and it's a little long that time, and Spanish Fork quickly down the other end. I wonder if both teams can keep this pace up the entire night. There's been a lot of running, and both teams have not gone too deep into their bench. Argyle misses, gets his own rebound, gets it out to Knowles. Knowles up and way off that time. Down the other side, Maple Mountain will find a streaking Ballard, and Ballard was wide open that time as Spanish Fork guarded the other guy, and Ballard was at the center running the court that time. Picks up 2 for Maple Mountain. Golden Eagles have dominated this quarter. Spanish Fork slowing it down, looking to maybe take a collective breath here. They need a good possession here. The last thing they need is another turnover and another Maple Mountain basket. Near still that time by Christensen. They get it out to Congdon, and he's off. The Spanish Fork has suddenly gone cold. Maple Mountain runs the court. Fouled that time by Congdon is Boyack, and he'll go to the free throw line. Boyack, he's got 7 points in the ball game. As all of a sudden my elementary math skills lost me there. And the first free throw is up, and that was easy breezy, beautiful cover girl as that went down. That's 8 points there for Boyack in this ball game. 16 foul that time by Spanish Fork, so Maple Mountain will be shooting the rest of the way in this ball game. And the second free throw by Boyack is up and good. Argyle quickly down the other end. He gets it to Money. Money is fouled by Christensen, and he'll get 2 free throws from behind the charity stripe. And Spanish Fork has fallen down by 9. They need to get some of this momentum back as they led that entire first quarter. I mentioned earlier, though, Maple Mountain is gonna, if they win this ball game, they'll be 11-1 and be at least get a piece of this region. They need some help to win it outright as they lost to Springville, and Springville's 9-1. Maple Mountain's 10-1. Spanish Fork just 3-7. Can make the playoffs still, but they're going to need a lot of help. Money hits 1 of 2 that time. Cuts the lead to 8. Maple Mountain doing a good job of moving the ball around, finding the open guy. There's always somebody open in the zone. Oh, and it's out and in, but Ballard picks up the trash, and he gets his 6th point of the game. Oh, we got a charge that time as Ballard takes one for the team. Argyle picks up the foul. And that's just his first. It's an offensive foul, so Maple Mountain won't shoot, but that is the 17th foul. Maple Mountain's got a 10-point lead. We'll see if they try and go early here, if they save it for the last shot of the half here. So far, they look like they're in no hurry, but Christensen pulls up the 3, and he knocks it down. That'll give him 8 in the ball game. Spanish Fork moves it around to Money. Almost moved away from that pass. Behind the back pass by Argyle to Money, and it's good. And Money answers, and what a great State Farm assist that time by Argyle. As he went behind the back. Money, he's got 3 three-pointers in the ball game, and he's got 10 points as well. 20 seconds to go. Lead still 10 here. Double digits if you're Spanish Fork. You might want to hold for the last shot, but Maple Mountain's forcing the action. And Argyle Golden Knolls, he gets hammered. No call. He got slapped on the wrist that time, but no call. 10 seconds to go. Maple Mountain quickly down the other end and takes a 12-point lead as Boyack picks up another bucket. He's gone on fire here as Argyle heaves in a hole and misses that time, and just like that, Maple Mountain leads 42-30 here to end the half. We'll come back for the halftime entertainment. We'll probably see the drill team and cheerleaders here in a minute, but at the half, Maple Mountain 42, Spanish Fork 10 on SF-17.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork. MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
And we are back here at the Dawn Dome where Maple Mountain leads 42-30. We're about 9.5 minutes away from the action, but we're honoring some of our seniors here tonight that have, for the drill team, they honored the basketball team before the game. But a very impressive quarter by Boyack for Maple Mountain. He only had 3 in the first quarter, but then in that second quarter he had 8, so he's got 11. And I believe he leads Maple Mountain. I haven't added them all up yet, but he seemed to be a spark plug. And for Spanish Fork, they came out on fire. Knowles, Money, and Argyle were starting to lead the way, but in that second quarter, they got awfully quiet as Money led them in scoring that quarter, and also is leading the team. He's got 10 for Spanish Fork. Knowles also has 9. So I think the key for Spanish Fork to get back in this ball game is they've got to continue to play great defense, but they cannot turn the ball over. Also, they cannot take bad shots that lead to transition baskets. So if you're Maple Mountain, you got to force those turnovers, and when you do get that offensive rebound, continue to run the ball. They've been doing a great job of getting back on their offense, and you've even seen the big guy Ballard running and Butler running down the court. Those guys are some fast cats, and they know how to find the open guy and get in some of those 3-on-2, 4-on-2 situations on the offensive end. So an amazing job by Maple Mountain in that second quarter of taking advantage of some of those transition buckets. The one thing Maple Mountain's kind of struggled at so far is they've struggled to hit that 3 ball, and they're going to need to find that if they want to make it far in the state playoffs this season. So we were all tied up at 18 in that first quarter. And so based on my Nebo School District math, Spanish Fork had 12 there in the second, and then Maple Mountain had 24, so they doubled them up there. That was a huge quarter. And if you're Maple Mountain, you want to continue to put your foot on the acceleration pedal there and see if you can't run away with this thing and take the heart out of Spanish Fork, because if Spanish Fork loses, I mean, this will be their last home game, and we'll pause here to watch the drill team perform. That was the Spanish Fork Los Chilitas seniors there performing for their last time at a basketball game. Great performance that time. Now we'll have a chance to look at the cheerleaders here and the senior ones, while I'm assuming we'll also be doing a routine. Quickly during that break, I added up our leading scorers for Maple Mountain, and Boyack leads all Maple Mountain scores. He's got 11. Christensen has 8. Butler has 8. Ballard has 6. So very balanced scoring that time, and they've actually got, don't count on the air, but they've actually got 8 guys that have scored for Maple Mountain. So they've done a great job of having some balanced scoring out there. And for Spanish Fork, Money's got 10 and Knowles has 9, but after that it drops way down to Argyle, who's only got 5 points. And I guess that's the reason Maple Mountain leads by 12. That and those transition buckets that they've been getting very easily. So as you can see, we got the cheerleaders out there. They're seniors. This will be their last time they'll be able to perform here at one of these basketball games, and an exciting moment for them out there. All right, now we'll get a pause here and we'll watch the cheerleaders routine here. All right, that was the Spanish Fork Dons cheerleaders, and we're going to take a break here at the half. Maple Mountain leading 42-30 over the Spanish Fork Dons on SF-17.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in
Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to 2 Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet? Need a new car?
And we are back here. We're about a minute and a half away from Maple Mountain and Spanish Fork playing this second half here. The Golden Eagles have dominated early. Spanish Fork took we got a good look here at the Maple Mountain student body. They're going nuts. They showed up in large numbers. It's not a large drive, though, from the east side of Spanish Fork to Maple Mountain to get here. But they're making a lot of noise. And like I said earlier in this broadcast, this is the loudest it's been all season, except for maybe the Salem Hills game. That game was also very loud. But the first quarter, Spanish Fork came out. They threw a couple of punches, and it's like Mike Tyson always said, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. But Maple Mountain took those punches and were able to counter with some of their own, and they doubled up Spanish Fork in that second quarter. They went on a 24-12 run in that quarter, if you will, and that's been huge, and they did it all on transition play. So if you're Spanish Fork, if you do turn it over, which you don't want to, you have got to do a better job of getting back on defense. Looks like, I believe, Spanish Fork lost the toss, or excuse me, lost the jump. They got it there in the second quarter. They're out on the floor. We're still waiting for Maple Mountain to get out here, but Maple Mountain will start the ball here with their 12-point lead. If you're Spanish Fork, I'm curious to see if they get back into that man-to-man defense. They were able to put a lot of pressure on Maple Mountain when they did that. I guess the one downside is they only go seven or eight guys into the rotation, and it's very difficult to play that man-to-man defense for an entire 32 minutes. All right, we're back here. Start the half. Christensen will inbound. He'll throw it into Boyack, and we're underway here as it's 42-30. Maple Mountain looking to run their offense. Spanish Fork is back into that man-to-man defense. Christensen looking to blow by Argyle. Butler travels. He took a couple of steps, I should say, before he dribbled that time, and the ref calls it there. So with 7:45 to go, Spanish Fork with their first opportunity, trailing by 12. Maple Mountain still in that 3-2 zone. Looking to clog the inside, and Bridger Knowles is at beyond the three-point line. Argyle throws one up, and just how he started the ball game, he hits the first shot of the half. He's got 8. Didn't score any in that second quarter. Christensen, he'll try and answer, and he throws up a brick that time, and Spanish Fork will bring it down. Argyle pulls up, throws it into Knowles, and he called for a travel that time. They're calling that awfully tight. Usually they let you take that little bounce step, but not tonight. Maple Mountain bringing it back up the court here. Butler with the ball. Spanish Fork still in that man-to-man defense. We'll see how long they can play in this defense. And we got another travel. 3 travel calls in the quarter, and all of them have been very close. Student body behind me doesn't believe that's a travel, but they're not the ones with the whistles. Spanish Fork looking to break this zone. Money's underneath. They get it to him. He throws it out to Knowles. Too many guys in the same area, and Olsen will take the shot inside the three-point line, and it's missed. Quickly down the other end is Boyack that time. Mountain doing a good job of setting screens, trying to work people off the ball, and Radigan gets his 4th point in the game. He didn't score any in the second quarter himself. He can get hot for Maple Mountain at times. Maple Mountain's got this lead back up to 11. They're in double digits. Argyle tries a 3, and that thing is dead on, and that is 3 3-pointers in the ballgame, 2 in the quarter for Argyle, and he's in double digits. Argyle with the rebound, looking to cut into this 8-point lead. He's out of control. He passes it off to Olsen. Knowles with the save out to Money, and Money's shot is short. Maple Mountain will get the ball. Somebody's lost a shoe out there. I'm trying to see which player did. I guess it's number 11, Boyack. He's got black socks on it. It's hard to see. It lost to Will that time. He'll retrieve it. He'll have to put it back on, and just like that, for Spanish Fork, Olsen will check out. Cook checks in the ball game. We'll have a little delay here as Boyack ties his shoes. Hopefully a little tighter this time. You don't want to be spraining your ankle because you lose a shoe out there, that's for sure. Maple Mountain will inbound it to Boyack, and they'll work it around. Oh, nice pass in the middle, but Argyle's able to deflect it out. Spanish Fork changed the defense up, and they're running a little bit of a 2-3 zone here. The way to beat any zone is to swing the ball quickly. Maple Mountain's able to work it into Radigan. He's fouled. He'll go to the free throw stripe for 2. And that's Bridger Knowles' second foul of the ball game. That's 2 fouls in the quarter on Maple Mountain. They're looking to extend this lead. Radigan, free throws up. It rattles around, but it drops in. He's got 5 in the ball game, looking to make it 6 with this next one. Also could give Maple Mountain another double-digit lead. Curious to see if Spanish Fork can make a run here in this quarter to get this thing close before before the fourth quarter, pardon me. All right, Spanish Fork moving the ball quickly, and a lot of points. Some of these high school games end up in the 40s. I don't believe that's going to be the case tonight, unless Spanish Fork keeps this slow pace. Spanish Fork cross-court pass from Cook to Knowles. Knowles looking to go inside, throws it back out to Argyle, and Spanish Fork will reset their offense here. Not a whole lot of movement by these Dons on offense. Everybody's just standing around, and Argyle goes with the crossover move and then airballs it as the Maple Mountain crowd will let him know. Maple Mountain bringing it up slowly here. Oh, great steal by Congdon that time. He's going to take it all the way, finger rolls it in, and he's got 2 points. Congdon with 5 in the ball game. And as I was writing a 2 down, I have no idea what happened there. But Maple Mountain will be inbounding the ball. Butler throws it out there to Boyack, and then they'll work it around the horn here. Everybody's going to touch the ball. It's Hickory High basketball here for Maple Mountain. Maybe some of our younger viewers don't know that is, but nonetheless, Spanish Fork with the turnover. Argyle's filling it. He throws up from 3, and it's short. He is human in this quarter, and we'll have a foul this time on Radigan. That'll be Maple Mountain's first foul of the half. Will Radigan picks up his first. Josh Chingus will check in, and Congdon will check out here for Spanish Fork. They're down by 8. They're looking to make a run here. Looking a little fatigued, though, is Spanish Fork at this juncture in the ball game. Knowles working inside, is unable to get it as he's double teamed. And just like that, Maple Mountain quickly down the other end. We got to travel, and he did indeed. I believe that's Radigan. He shuffled his feet. He's wondering, what did I do? But you can't shuffle your feet when you're trying to line up that three-point shot. A lot of times that won't get called, though, so I can understand complaining a little bit. Now they're going to chant air ball at Argyle every time he touches the ball. These high school kids these days are ferocious. They work the ball inside to Congdon. Argyle does back out to Chingus. Chingus for 2, and it's off. Nice save by Argyle. He'll get it out to Money, and Money's filling it tonight. He's got 12. That's his first bucket of the quarter. It's senior night for Money, and he is been Money, no pun intended. Oh, and just like that, Christensen answers on the other end, and Johnny Everett will take a timeout here. Maple Mountain leading 49-40. This will give us a good opportunity to talk about our sponsors here that make this broadcast possible. We've got the Car Guys, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, Triple T Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, McKell Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, and 2 Jack's Pizza. We like to thank those sponsors for making this and other broadcasts possible here on SF17. And also, as you enjoy this broadcast, we invite you to follow our pages on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to keep up with the latest shows, live broadcasts, and our SF17 staff. Just look for Spanish Fork 17. You can follow us there. And, maybe watch one of these broadcasts from a taxi cab. I've done that before. It's amazing what we can do with this thing called the internet. and data and wireless. And anyways, back to the ball game here. Spanish Fork looking to cut into this Maple Mountain 9-point lead. If I'm them, I'm finding money. He is on fire. They work the ball out to Chingus. Tanner Argyle will take it inside, and they do swing it out to Money, and Money hits another one. I'm not sure what the whistle is. We got a foul. Trying to see if the bucket's good. The bucket's not going to count. It was a foul before the The three's good, and then a foul, so a huge change of momentum there. As Money hits the three. Argyle lines one up, and all of a sudden we have ourselves a 3-point ball game. Argyle's hit 3 in the quarter, and that was a 6-point swing as there was a foul in between the possession. Money hits the three. Number 14, Beanham, commits a foul. Then Argyle hits a three, and within a span of just a few seconds, this lead went from 9 to Maple Mountain down to 3. The Dons are being deadly outside. Argyle's now quietly gotten himself to 14 points here in the ball game, and Maple Mountain needs to regain some of their mojo if they want to at least assure themselves a tie for first place in Region 8. Maple Mountain works it out to Christensen. Great assist by Bird that time, and Christensen hits his 4th three-pointer of the game. He's on fire as well. He's got 14. Great to see these high school athletes perform at a high level. Knowles works it inside. He's bumped that time by Beanham. They're looking for a charge here on the Maple Mountain side. They're not going to get it. Knowles is going to go to the free throw line to try and add to his 9 points in the ball game. Knowles averaging 20. He's going to have to. He's got some work ahead of him if he's going to hit that average, and that first free throw is rims out. That thing didn't look good from the beginning. Two minutes to go, and those 2 threes in a matter of seconds really put Spanish Fork back in this game, but Knowles is unable to help him out from behind the charity stripe. Maple Mountain will swing the ball, and they've really kind of slowed things down, but credit Spanish Fork for not turning it over, and Christensen hits another, and he's got 3 three-pointers in the third quarter. There's a lot of threes there. And just like that, that leads back up to 9 thanks to Christensen and his back-to-back 3-point buckets in this game. Chingus from the corner. He's got 6. Both of his shots coming from behind the 3-point line. And we got a 3-point shooting contest, folks. Butler misses that time. It leads to 6. They'll quickly work it down to Knowles, and that's a State Farm great assist that time by Tanner Argyle. Knowles with 11. They'll work it inside to Bird, who kicks it back out to Boyack, and they'll find Christensen. Oh, and Christensen misses, but great job by Bird of getting the offensive rebound and putting it up and in. He's got 6 in this ball game. We're under a minute here, 6-point lead. This game is very tightly contested. Credit Spanish Fork. They could have given up on this season, but they've battled back in this second half, especially as they went the first round with only winning 1 game. Oh, and the shot is up and in by Cook here, and he gets his first bucket. Nice baseline move that time, and Christensen's just going to launch it every time he touches it now. And don't blame him when you're feeling it, but he misses that time. 15 seconds to go. Spanish Fork can hold for the last shot. They will not. Oh, Argyle misses. That would have cut it to 1, and this place probably would have went nuts. Instead, Maple Mountain quickly down the other side. They got 3 seconds, too. And it's up to end the half there. as Tyler Boyack hits a three, his first bucket of the game. He's got 14. He extends the lead to 7 here. So at the end of 3, it's Maple Mountain 60, Spanish Fork 53 on SF-17.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
And we're back here on SF-17. Maple Mountain leading 60-53. They've been led by Christensen. He's got 17. He had 9 points in that third quarter to help this Maple Mountain offense, which had been struggling here to get the lead. And I'd like to just take a moment here to, thank our sponsors real quick here for making this broadcast possible on Channel 17. We got the Car Guys, MVP Sports, Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, 2 Jacks Pizza, Triple T, Dickerson Automotive, and Mikkel Christiansen, Wise Attorneys at Law. We thank those sponsors for making this broadcast possible. So we're back to action here. Tanner Argyle will get the ball to start this quarter. He's having himself a well of a game. Also, he's hit 4 threes. He's got 14 points. Ooh, looked that time like Chingus traveled, but the ball got tipped that time, and Spanish Fork will keep it. Very weird sequence in that third quarter where Money hit a 3, and there was a foul just quickly after. They gave the ball back to Spanish Fork, and then Argyle hit a 3, and just on cue, Argyle gets another bucket. He's got 16. He leads the Dons in scoring. Money also has 15. He led at the end of 3 quarters for Spanish Fork. Maple Mountain bringing the ball up quickly. Spanish Fork in this zone defense, and Maple Mountain going to test the range of it here, and the 3's up and no good that time by Boyack. Argyle gets the rebound quickly down the other way. He finds Congdon underneath the hoop, who swings it out to Chingus, and Chingus puts it up and good. And just like that, the Spanish Fork Don student section's going crazy, and they're only down by 2. Wow, and on the other end, Beanham answers with the 3. As we've got ourselves a NASCAR race, both teams racing on this court tonight. We'll kick the ball out to Argyle, who puts it up. He's fouled. That's on Boyack. Leads 5 for Maple Mountain, but they're not out of the woods here yet. Spanish Fork would like nothing better to send them home with a loss. They've had a little bit of a rough season, but a lot of bad memories can be erased by beating your rivals, especially the team that you caused to not win the region championship. As Maple Mountain will get a piece of the region championship at least if they win this ball game, and Argyle hits his first free throw. So a lot at stake here for Maple Mountain, especially for playoff seeding. Tanner's second free throw's up and good. He cuts the lead to 3. Spanish Fork only trailing by 3, I should say. 63-60. We've had a lot of points, and Argyle's coming out, and that kid has been, he's put a lot of miles on those Nikes tonight. Christensen brings the ball up slow, and Maple Mountain looks to slow the pace of this game. Christensen runs off a couple screens and is unable to connect on a 3 that time. That ball, Darrell Griffith would have been proud of that shot. That ball had a high arc on it for sure. Chingus will reset the offense here. Spanish Fork can tie it up here, cut the lead to 1 with a basket. Work it around to Olsen. Finds Congdon, who goes inside. Might have got fouled that time, no call. They'll work it into Knowles. We got a flop. Oh, Knowles is unable to connect, and Butler does a great job of boxing out. And Maple Mountain will bring it down the other way. Butler's going to go coast to coast. And he'll find Boyack on the outside. Well, gets it into Christensen. They'll work it around the perimeter here for Maple Mountain. And Christensen, he's filling it, and he hits another one. He's got 20 on the night. He's one of these top scorers for Spanish Fork. I believe he comes in averaging 15 a game. That leads up to 6. Spanish Fork tries to cut into it. They'll get it to Chingus. Chingus has hit a couple, and he hits another one there. I've not seen Chingus shoot the ball well from outside, but he is definitely feeling it tonight, looking to change that trend. They'll work the ball into Bird, and Bird gets hammered by Money that time, and he'll have to earn it the hard way from behind the stripe. 4:57. Don's keeping this thing interesting. Maple Mountain had a couple of double-digit leads early on. It's like Maple Mountain's going to use one of their timeouts. You can't take him home with you. You might as well. And I think if you're Coach Everett, they're doing a lot of back and forth with the officials, the Maple Mountain assistants are. But if you're Coach Everett here, you got to tell your guys to just relax and maybe try and get some of those turnovers when they had that huge run in the second quarter. And if you're Spanish Fork, you got to try and bottle up some of that three-point shooting. They have been on fire as of late, and they've really battled back by using that three-point shot. And a lot of teams are using analytics these days, and they found that if you can shoot 40% from behind the three-point line as a team, even 35, that's huge. That's better than working it inside. So Bird will come out of the timeout. He'll be shooting 2 shots here. The official getting ready to give him the ball. Bird's got 6 in the ball game. Make it 7. And the lead's up to 4. Nobody's in real foul trouble here. We still have almost 5 minutes to go. Anything can happen here in the Don Dome. You get these two teams together, and it's always an epic battle. It doesn't matter what the sport is. I've seen some great basketball games between these two teams as well. Spanish Fork works it to Money on the baseline, and he is filling it. He's got his first bucket of the quarter. 17 on the game. Might be a career high. We got a blocking foul. I think if Knowles would have held his possession instead of turning his back, he probably would have got the charge that time. Instead, Radigan finds his way to the free throw line, but it's very hard to take a charge and when a guy's coming like that. But Knowles, for whatever reason, turned his back. And the free throw's up and good. Maple Mountain will extend their lead to 3 here as Radigan's got 7. And the next one's up and good. That'll give him 8. 69-65. Maple Mountain, 4:30 to go. Buckle up, my friends. Knowles with the bucket and count it. He'll get another free throw here to try and cut this lead to 1. Getting the three-point play the old-fashioned way. Bridger Knowles has been very impressive for Spanish Fork. He was one of their leading scorers last year as just a sophomore. Last year, actually as a he is a junior now. Last year he was a sophomore, so he'll be back next year. And the lead is down to 1. 69-68. High-scoring affair here. This is one of the highest-scoring games I've seen in a long time at the high school level. Radigan will find Boyack, and Boyack hits the 3. Both teams shooting that 3 at a high clip here in this second half. Feeling it, and it's making for some entertaining basketball. 4:10 to go. Spanish Fork trailing Maple Mountain by 4 here on SF-17. And Congdon works it into Knowles. And we got a charge. Bucket's no good. Butler takes the charge. We'll go the other way here. Powerful move by Knowles, but great position by Butler. And I don't think Butler even did the European flop there. Spanish Fork's going to play 90 feet of defense here as Chingus is playing a full court press here. He's young. He can do it. He hasn't been playing that much in the Spanish Fork, going with a small lineup as Knowles picks up his 4th foul. That's huge for the Dons. We'll work the ball into Butler. We got a blocking foul. Congdon Thought he got in position. I think he slided his feet there a little late. That right call by the official, and Butler will go to the line, shooting 2. Congdon picks up his third, so slowly but surely Spanish Fork is getting some guys in foul trouble. Bueller's free throw is up and good. He's got 9. That's his first point of the second half, though. Gets into his shooting routine here. Spins the ball for good luck, and the second one's up and nothing but the bottom of the net. He's in double digits for the Golden Eagles, and Spanish Fork quickly works it out to Congdon. That thing's way long. Maple Mountain maybe can make a run here to get this thing out of position here for Spanish Fork. That was a travel, not called. Ball's knocked out by Monies. Maple Mountain will retain possession. Maple Mountain will be shooting the rest of the way. Spanish Fork has 17 fouls now. Maple Mountain will slow it up, work the perimeter. Great job by Christensen. Errant shot, though. Great move to get open, but he needed to pull that thing down or pass it. Congdon all the way. We got a foul down. That'll be 16 fouls, so both teams will be shooting 1 and 1 the rest of the way here. Boyack picks up his third foul. 74-68, Golden Eagles over the Dons in the battle for the fork here in Spanish Fork. Congdon throws it into Lewis, back to Congdon, and he gets jumped over. Wow, Ballard has some hops. Or was that Radigan that time that picks up the foul? That hurts. That was Radigan that jumped over Congdon. I mean, he cleared him. Looked like he was in the slam dunk contest that will be happening tomorrow. It's part of the NBA All-Star Weekend, and as a result, 1-and-1 opportunity here for Congdon. He makes the first one. That's huge. He's got 6. Opportunity to cut this lead to 4 here for Spanish Fork. Easiest way to make a point is from the free throw line. Nobody's guarding you. And he goes 1 for 2. Maple Mountain brings it down and quickly down the other ends. Boyack finds Ballard. Nice pass that time to Ballard. Ballard's able to make the layup. He's got 8. They work the ball out to Chingus, and a 7-point lead for Maple Mountain. Not insurmountable by any means, but if you're Spanish Fork, you've got to use your possessions wisely and come up with some points. Another foul here. That'll send Congdon to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity, and the front end of a 1-and-1 is huge, especially when your team's trailing. So Knowles has 4 fouls. He'll have to be careful, or he'll be disqualified from this ball game. Radigan had a hard time staying behind the free throw line that time, but it didn't matter. Congdon makes the free throw. He's got 7, looking to make it 8 here with this free throw. 76-70. If you would have asked me before this game, I would not have thought it would have been this close. So credit Spanish Fork for hanging in this thing and fighting tough, and who knows, maybe they can come out with the victory. Congdon's got 3 in the quarter, 8 in the ball game. All 3 of his points from behind the charity stripe. 5-point lead here. Spanish Fork is going to go man-to-man, mano-y-mano here. And they'll look for Christensen, Maple Mountain. He drives it in. It's hard, but Ballard tips it up and in. He's in double digits. A lot of guys in double digits tonight, as there's been a lot of points, 78-71. Maple Mountain, Spanish Fork. See what they can do against this zone defense. Bridger Knowles is on the outside here, looking for Argyle. Money's open. He's going to take it. It's up. It's well short, but the rebound's by Knowles. And we got a foul this time. Looks like it's going to be Knowles going to the free throw stripe. Don't think it was on the... Was it on the shot one? Bridger Knowles. I think he's going to be shooting 2 here. So it was on the shot. The Spanish Fork will be shooting 2 the rest of the way as the free throw's up and good. That gives Knowles 15 in the ball game. Spanish Fork trailing by 6. Kind of hoping this thing goes into overtime. It's been quite the epic battle here. Knowles hits the second one. 78-73. Maple Mountain has the ball and the lead. Christensen, he's caught fire. He's got 20 here. He's got the ball as well for Maple Mountain. And Spanish Fork looking to create a turnover, but if you're Maple Mountain, I still think you got to stay your offense. Sometimes when you get in one of these prevent offenses, that's exactly what you do. You prevent your offense from scoring, and you eventually turn it over. Christensen resets, gets it out to Radigan. Radigan will hold, guarded tightly by Argyle. At some point, if you're... Oh, and they do turn it over, and like I said, if you don't run your offense, sometimes that's exactly what happens. So Spanish Fork down by 5, has the ball, minute 25. And also if they foul, Maple Mountain will only be shooting 1 and 1. For Spanish Fork here, you got to be looking for Argyle, Money, or Knowles. Those have been your 3 money makers so far tonight. Chingus as well. Chingus hits a 3, and that's huge. And we got a timeout called here. Chingus has hit 5 3-pointers tonight. He's got 15. He's cut this thing to 2. It's anybody's ball game here. Wow. Got to catch my breath. My blood pressure's a little high right now with all this excitement. So let's take a minute to go ahead and thank our sponsors here who make this broadcast possible. We got the car guys, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, Triple T Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen, Wise Attorneys of Law, MVP Sports, and Two Jacks Pizza. We'd like to thank these sponsors for making this and other broadcasts possible here on Channel 17. And also, as you enjoy this broadcast, we invite you to follow our pages on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to keep up with the latest shows, live broadcasts, and our SF17 staff. Just look for Spanish Fork 17, and we know you're on those things. So go ahead and give us a follow or a like or whatever you need to do to get the latest information on these great broadcasts. And if you're Maple Mountain, I'm going to be aggressive here if I'm Coach Johnny Everett. I'm going to try and get the ball in the hoop. I don't want to get fouled. Spanish Forks, and it looks like they're going to go full court defense as we got a picket fence lining up here for Maple Mountain. 78-76, 64 seconds of basketball left to play. Christensen gets it across the timeline. Spanish Fork trapping when possible, playing man-to-man defense. We'll see at what point Spanish Fork fouls, and if you are going to foul, it's not going to be Knowles that makes the foul. He's got 5. Boyack gets away, but just dribbles. Oh, great effort that time by Argyle. He's unable to get the steal. He'll pick up the foul, though. He's holding his wrist a little bit. Looks like he might have jammed his wrist a little bit. He'll probably be fine. Argyle, that is. Argyle's got 3, or pardon me, he's got 2 fouls. So if you get in one of these situations where you need to foul, Argyle can be your guy. And with ice running through his veins, Boyack hits the first free throw. And he's got 18 points in this ball game as well. Most of it coming in the first half. We'll see if he can make this a huge free throw as well. He does. We got a substitution here. 4-point ball game. Spanish Fork's been lighting it up behind the 3-point line. Argyle, Money, Chingus have been on fire. All right, Spanish Fork brings the ball up the court. They look for Argyle. He's well off on that shot. You got a foul, and Congdon picks it up. Brandon Congdon picks up the foul. He's got 4, so next foul on either Congdon or Knowles, and they're out. And if you're Maple Mountain, looks like all you got to do to win this ball game is to hit your free throws. And it looks like we got a timeout here on Spanish Fork side. I believe that was a full timeout. So 80-76 here, 17.6 seconds. Maple Mountain will be shooting free throws. Didn't catch the player that got fouled that time, unfortunately, but what an exciting ball game. And if you're Maple Mountain, all you've got to do is play good, solid defense. Even if Maple Mountain's able to hit a couple threes, as long as you can hit these free throws, you're in good business. They'll be shooting 1-and-1 here, so the front end of this free throw is going to be huge. Now, for Maple Mountain, if they make it, they'll be able to extend the lead. If you're Spanish Fork, you're hoping for a miss, you're hoping for a rebound, you get another bucket, you're back in this ball game. Both teams will be shooting 2 free throws. If they get fouled, both teams will be in the double bonus on the next foul. All right, looks like Boyak's lining up behind the free throw line. He's got 17 in the ball game. Pardon me, he's got 19. And the first one's up and good. That'll make the lead 5 here for Maple Mountain, and that is a huge free throw. If Boyak can make this one, this game's almost out of reach. And he does. Spanish Fork's going to have to go quick. Under 16 to go here. Congdon forces one. Was he fouled? That's a horrible foul for Christensen. You just got to let that play tough defense. Oh, sorry, that's on Boyak that time. So Brandon Congdon has the opportunity to hit 3 free throws. Maple Mountain student body was shouting, "This is our house." I believe this is all of our houses. We all pay our taxes here in Nebo School District. All right. So Congdon hits his first free throw. Second free throw's up and good for Congdon. He's got 10 in the ball game. He's made 5 free throws in this quarter alone. He's made both. He's needed to do what Congdon's needed is hit his free throws and done what he's needed to do to keep the Dons in this ball game, as I got tongue twisted there. 4-point ball game. Timeout, Spanish Fork. Down by 3. You're going to have to try and get that still fast. If you do not get that still, foul. I'm almost wondering if I'm Spanish Fork's coaching staff here, if Jesse Roberts might take out Congdon, he might take out Knowles. That way, if you do have to foul, those guys aren't disqualified. Maybe do some defense for offense substitutions here. Both student bodies shouting at each other. The intensity's picking up here in the Don Dome. Another exciting battle here between these two teams. Every time I've come and watched these two teams here in this gym, there's been some excitement. I believe Jaron Hall missed a half-court three-pointer that would have sent a game into overtime a few years ago. It always seems like these games in this gym are very tight. And this would be the biggest win for Spanish Fork if they were able to somehow pull this off. Down by 3, Maple Mountain looking to inbounds the ball. Radigan will inbound the ball, money to guard. Got 4 wide on the base, out by the free throw line. Maple Mountain struggling to get it in. They do get it into Christensen. He's quickly fouled. They're either going to call that on Cook or Money. And Spanish Fork did take out Congdon and Knowles, and they'll come back in after this first free throw. A lot of pressure on Christensen here to put this ball game away. 9.5 seconds to go. He's off. He's got 2 free throws here. And Christensen makes the first. He's got 21 in the ball game. Christensen averaging 15 points on the season. 83-79. A lot of points here, and we got another timeout. Sometimes the end of these basketball games, the last 2 minutes can end up being an eternity. But it's worth it, as we're going to have an exciting finish here between the Golden Eagles and the Dons. Maple Mountain looking for Christensen to hit another free throw here to put this game nearly out of reach, as we get a good look at here at the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles that have come out here to support the team. You guys are on camera. They're happy to be here at the Don Dome, and so am I. Christensen needing to make this free throw here to almost put this game out of reach. If you're Spanish Fork, you're hoping for a miss, and you've got to go quick, and you've got to foul quick and try and extend this game as long as possible. It's not over yet, though. It's 9.5 seconds. Anything can happen. The free throw is up and good by Christensen. Maple Mountain's going to make this difficult and go three-quarter court defense. Argyle's going to launch from half. No, he doesn't. They take too much time. Knowles tries to bank in the three, and just like that, this ball game's over. Maple Mountain will come out on top, 84-79. Heartbreaking loss for the Dons. They fought hard. They were the big underdogs, but did a great job of scoring 79 points here tonight. But it's the Golden Eagles night here on SF17. They win by 5. We'll go ahead and take a quick break here, and then we'll come back on Spanish Fork 17. Your winner of this ball game is Maple Mountain, 84-79 over the Dons.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year, so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
And we are back here from the Don Dome. I'm Chris Hurst. You've been watching Maple Mountain's Spanish Fork basketball. I forgot to write down the final score, but Maple Mountain comes up on top by 5. I believe it was 84-79. What an exciting battle. Spanish Fork did a great job of keeping in this ball game behind the three-point shot. Chingus had 15 points, all 5 of his shots from behind the arc, and that's how he got 15. Money had 17. Argyle had 18 for Spanish Fork. Knowles had 16 as well, but they came up a little bit short tonight. Is in a great effort. Maple Mountain has ensured themselves at least a piece of the Region 8 championship. They're hoping that Springville loses one of these next 2 games. And so either way, Maple Mountain will be heading into the playoffs as their last ball game. They have a bye. So they finished region play 11-1, and what a great way to end region play for Maple Mountain as they come and beat their rivals here at the Don Dome. But for our player of the game, we got a couple of choices. Christensen, he did a great job of hitting some key free throws to end this game. He ends up having 22, I believe. But Boyack, we're going to make him our player of the game. He had 20 points for Spanish Fork Maple Mountain, and played well on both ends of the court. Sorry, I'm used to giving this Sports MVP player of the game to Spanish Fork player, but we're going to give it to Boyack tonight. He had 20 points, and he did a great job of leading this Maple Mountain team to victory. So Tyler Boyack is our Sports MVP player of the game. For Spanish Fork, their playoff hopes have been dashed. Wasatch has secured that 4th spot, so they'll get to go to Springville and try and ensure that Maple Mountain wins the region championship. So now Maple Mountain becomes Spanish Fork fans, and that will be the last game for Spanish Fork in the season. Maple Mountain, they'll be in the playoffs, and depending on if they get that 1 or 2 seed, they might end up at Orem, which would be a great landing spot for them, and Region 8 plays Region 6 this year in the playoffs. So to end this ball game, Maple Mountain wins it by 4 or 5. They take the score down here so fast at this gym. They're victorious. I believe it was 84-79 tonight. I'm Chris Hurst. You've been watching high school basketball on SF 17. Thanks for joining me.